Hey y'all, it's Amanda with Tap Mom and the Bag Brigade. Hope everybody's having a good day. Me and Johnny are been out shopping, getting groceries. Say hey, Johnny.
Hey.
Y'all give me a minute, I'll let y'all see his cute face. But I'm trying to get out of this parking space here at the Walmart neighborhood market where we've been shopping. It's still the cheapest place to buy stuff. We did get drinks at Brookshire's, which is our I don't know if y'all have Brookshire's where you are, but it's one of our local grocery stores here. But there's Johnny.
Hey.
My trusty sidekick. Oh, and I got y'all all lopsided. There we go. But we're just I'm going to take the ride home now. We're about 10 miles from home. It takes a little bit when you live in the country. We don't live like in the sticks, but it's enough off the beaten path that we have to drive into everything. Hopefully at the new house, which is in actual Shreveport, we live in a little town called Princeton, which is next to a town called Halton in Bossier Parish, Louisiana. And Bossier Parish consists of lots of little areas, and we just happen to live in an outskirts of Bossier City, Louisiana, which is the main hub of Bossier Parish. And when we move to Shreveport, we will be in Caddo Parish, and so that's across the bridge, across a river, across the Red River is what has always been called. We've always called it Red River, and mainly because it has that red clay consistency look to it. It looks red, and so ergo Red River. And of course you got a lot of businesses and stuff like that let their name be called Red River. You got Red River Valley Bank, and we even have a Red River festival and all kinds of stuff involving that. I even almost drowned in Red River once when I was like 8 years old, and a band by the name of Butch DuPont jumped in and saved me when I was 8. His family owned DuPont seafood. I think it was they were like because of course you know Shreveport is right there where all a bunch of fishing and stuff happens, and so his family owned the seafood place where people would go in and buy whole price seafood places, and so seafood for restaurants and what have you, and so they were kind of well off, but Butch was a strong swimmer, and my mother, bless her heart, she was not. And so we were playing on a sandbar, and all us kids, we would put our fingers in the sand, and then we'd float a little bit, and then we'd put our fingers back in the sand. And one time I forgot to put my fingers back in the sand and catch myself, and I was just going. And I was screaming because I couldn't, catch up with the water, And Butch jumped right in and got me. And my mother was just in a state. She was in a bad way. But luckily I'm still here today, 40 years later, thanks to Butch DuPont. So I wonder where he is today. Because I'm here because of him. Well, and the good Lord putting him in the right place at the right time. But now we're gonna go home, and I got some fresh tomatoes, and I'm gonna slice them up, put them on a bologna sandwich with a little bit of salt, and nothing like a little bit of salt on a fresh tomato on a bologna sandwich. I know that doesn't sound too appetizing to some of y'all, but I have simple taste. I don't require too much. But it just sounded good at the time, so there you go. That's what we're gonna have. That's what I'm gonna have. I don't know what Johnny's gonna have. He might want something different. But for supper tonight, I think we might put that lasagna that we bought already made up in the oven and just make it an easy night for ourselves. cooked last night either. Not really cooked. We put some hamburger patties in the oven with some barbecue sauce on it, and that's what we had, was barbecue hamburger sandwiches. We just try to make it simple, because I can't do all that standing and cooking like I used to. I'm a pretty good cook, and Johnny's a real good cook, but we just try to keep it simple because our kitchen is fairly small, and I just passed a sheriff's deputy going 5 over the speed limit.
Yikes.
Yeah, I noticed it as I was coming around the bend, and he was sitting there, but he didn't get me. I guess it's true that you can go 5 over without too much of a problem around here. It's when you start going 10 and 15 over that they want to stop you and give you the whoop whoop. But this van is fast. Oh, Roxy girl, she is fast. So I had to watch it. I had to get used. It's a lot to get used to when you go, from a car that, could be fast if it didn't have so many problems, to this one that doesn't have any problems and has all the speed that she could possibly want under the hood. But I tell you, God really blessed me yesterday being able to sell that car, because it developed a problem on the way to the car lot yesterday. It started doing this weird surging thing going down the road, and I'm like, Lord, just let me get to that car lot. And I really had wanted to try to get like $1,000 to $1,500 for the car. But when it started doing that, I'm like, I'm gonna be lucky if I can get enough to get the tags for the van, because that's not cheap when you pay as much as we paid for this van. Again, paying the sales tax and the title and all that to tag you for the first time is not cheap. And because the tax man wants his money, you know what I'm saying? And so when they offered me $800 for it, I was like, and my oldest son was with me, and he's like, take it, Mama, just take it, get out from under that car. That ought to be enough to get the tags on the van and have a little extra change besides that. So I took the money, and I took it because here in Louisiana, when you sell a car, you have to turn in the license plate, and before you could take it off your insurance. So I turned in the license plate yesterday for it. I took it off the insurance. Whew. And so that car is no more my problem. That is someone else's problem. Thank goodness. The good Lord took care of that for me. That's one less stress. So, and as soon as that dude's supposed to call me when they get my title, they're at the car lot so that I can swoop by and get my title and everything. And then when I get that, I can go get it registered. I can go ahead and finalize the registration and get the regular tags instead of the paper tags that the car lot gives you. So I wish I had a better setup in here. I'd show you these trees on this little we call it Highway 80, and that's the main thoroughfare running through Bossier. It's Highway 80. It goes from East Texas Street and it turns into Highway 80. I'm on Highway 80 East, going toward where we live. We live right off of it. But it's just a straight shot. It's mainly a straight shot. But I wish I could show you all these pretty trees. Everything's already green. Mostly green coming in, That's why the pollen is so crazy right now. But hopefully before too long, in the next week or so, I should have my title and be able to go get her tagged and everything. And my oldest son's going to stay with us for a while he figures out what he wants to do. He's going to see us through the move to Shreveport, hopefully in the next month. I don't want to stay out here more than another month because it's going to get warm, and that little air conditioning unit in my window went out. And that's something else I meant to do. I meant to go get a fan, but that little air conditioning unit went out in my room, and that window's all messed up. So I really don't want to go buy another window unit and have to wrestle it back in the window and go through all that stuff again. It's a long story, trust me. But so I just want to get on into the other house, get some new living room furniture, and Johnny and get him a new bed, and just get a nicer surroundings, nicer furnishings, and things like that, because I got money saved up for this move. There's money that I put back specifically to furnish the new place, so that everything could be nice, and I can have a nice area, and hopefully have a nice recording area to where I can showcase some of my yarns and stuff like everybody else does. I'm not gonna have my set up like everybody else, or it'll be my own unique way of doing it. But needless to say, I'd like to share and a little more about how things are done, my way of doing things, and broaden my horizons a little better with crochet, because I'm just really sticking to basic stitches right now, and not really trying to do anything more complicated, because the way my brain works, if I start trying to do more complicated stuff with all the changes and the stuff going on in my household, my brain will just get too bogged down, and I'll go into a depression, and because I'm putting too much on myself. So learning new stitches and learning new stuff right now is just not something I can handle. So I just need to stick with what I know until we get settled in our new place and everything lines out, like what it's going to be, what life is going to be going forward, and what I to where I can kind of say, okay, this is what I can expect out of life going on. But when life is in flux like it is right now, and in transition, that's where we are. We're kind of in transition, where I just got my benefits started. We're waiting on being able to move and all this stuff. It's just a lot for my brain to handle, to try to start learning new things. I don't want to try to learn new things while I'm still trying to process all this other change, and lots of good things are happening. I mean, it's wonderful that I finally got everything ironed out, disability wise and vehicle wise, and all this stuff's happening wonderfully, but I don't want to add anything to it, because I don't want to overwhelm myself, because I know myself well enough to know that would be bad, and I don't want to fall into old habits, and I don't want to do that. But anyway, we are almost to the house, and we're at 13 minutes on this video, so I hope y'all enjoyed this little ride with me and John. Say hey, John.
Hello.
We will upload this when we get in the door and get the groceries unloaded and put up, and I hope everybody's having a wonderful Wednesday. I love you all. God bless you, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye now.